Und damit ein herzliches Willkommen und Hallo zu einem weiteren Part Let's Play Tales of Arise. Ich bin es heute Surfix. Beim letzten Mal sind wir hier auf die zerstörte Welt von Rena gegangen. Dort, wo der große Geist wartet, hier wahrscheinlich da vorne, und ja, die Energie hier von Dahna aufsaugt. Nun ist es natürlich unser Ziel, diesen aufzuhalten, und daher werden wir auch hier gleich starten. Ich möchte jetzt nur mal kurz sehen, bevor wir großartig anfangen, so was wir so die Gegner drauf haben.
Helganquill! Guess they don't need their Red Woman disguises anymore.
Wait, can you understand us?
It's no use. We're not going to get through to them.
So they really are being controlled. In that case, we've got no choice.
Oha! Oha!
They're not pulling punches. We have no choice but to beat them at their own game.
Oh, 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 ich komme nur raus. Jetzt wartet. Das wird schön. Sehr gut. Aber gleich hier schnell, ein bisschen schade, was man. Das sieht ganz und gar nicht gut aus. Und 53, Mann. Einfach mal sind die, das ist echt nett, vom letzten Bossfight, der Level 47, 48 war, sind aber die Standardgegner auf Level 50 einfach nach oben gehüpft. Das ich sehr cool finde. Aber das habe ich mir gedacht. So, einmal weg. Das ist, weil ich im letzten Fight alle meine Moves rausgehauen habe. Und jetzt denkst du, Alter, was ist mit dir los, Rinwell? Kannst du mal gefälligst deinen blöden Move aufladen? Nein, was machst du da für einen Schmarrn? Okay, genau, das ist das, was ich will. Ja gut, stirb. Mir wurscht, was du machst. So. Mir wurscht, was du machst, dann spiel halt. So, Shionne ist tot. Das dachte ich mir, dass das so läuft. Aber wir sind auch chronisch hinter Level für die Gegner. So. Das ist ja nämlich fast, als wir in diesem Postgame-Dungeon waren. So. Hui, hui, hui.
Alphen.
I can't forgive them for what they've done, but I hate killing them. They don't even know why they're fighting. How does that even make them any different from the Dahnan slaves?
Perhaps. However, if we don't make a choice, the guilt of not doing anything will be that much worse.
Yeah, I know. I hate for it to be like this. But if it happens again, you won't find me hesitating to act.
I wonder if we're going to get attacked again.
I wonder what Helganquill's civilization was like at its zenith.
I can imagine that'd be something you'd take an interest in.
There's no question it must have been advanced, like none either world has ever seen. We could surely stand to learn a thing or two from such a people.
I get that you're itching to delve into its history, but we've got bigger fish to fry right now.
Put a pin in it, and you can do all the research you want when you retire.
I can think of worse things than a retirement dedicated to research. As for whether Rena is amenable to an aging specimen...
It's a little early to be giving it serious thought just yet.
A man can dream, though. A man can dream.
Oh, we didn't say there's anything wrong with dreaming.
In your case, Dohalim, dreams have a habit of spiraling into something else.
You'll need to stay with us for now, though. You're too helpful to let retire.
Why do I feel this is less of a compliment and more of an ultimatum?
Just a friendly suggestion.
Hey! Hey, I just realized something!
Is this about dinner last night? I didn't realize those ingredients were off.
What? No, I mean... Wait, you fed us rotten food?
Rinwell, the point.
Oh, yeah, right. So I was thinking about those armored soldiers we've seen. There are regular Renans inside them, right?
Yeah, they're designed to make whoever's wearing them stronger. At least, I think that's the idea.
Right. So it kind of begs the question then, why are they made so huge?
I don't know, makes them more intimidating, I guess? Or maybe all that tech wizardry inside takes up a lot of space.
You don't think it's weird how the armored soldiers are the exact same height as the Helganquil?
Can't say I'd ever noticed it till now. And?
Connect the dots, Law!
Okay, let me get this straight. You think the armored suits might have originally been designed to allow Renans to work alongside the Helganquil?
Huh. But if that's true, what would that mean?
It would mean... just that, I guess. But still, don't you think it's kind of interesting?
Not hugely. Hey, Kisara, well, I've got you. What's on tonight's menu? Because I was thinking, maybe meat.
Get him, Hoodle.
What did I do?
Oh, now you want to listen. Keep pecking, Hoodle!
Ow, ow, ow! Seriously, what the hell? You know, guys, when you think about it, we've taken out a lot of Zeugles. Like, a whole lot.
You can say that again. If one thing's for certain in this world, it's that wherever we go, we'll always end up bumping into them.
Isn't it weird that they're still so plentiful? You don't think the Renans have, like, a ranch where they breed them, do you?
Certainly in all of my years, I've never heard of them constructing such a massive facility on Dahna, let alone up in Lenegis.
The only thing I can think of, then, is that the feral ones must be reproducing on their own.
There's also no organized effort on our part to hunt them down, so it's difficult to fully exterminate them.
Exterminate them? Whoa, don't you think that's maybe a little harsh?
What do you mean?
Zeugles originally used to be living creatures native to Dahna and Rena, right? Being genetically modified isn't their fault.
You're right. Zeugles were only created because of us Renans. We altered the original creatures to suit our own ends.
First, people made Zeugles, and then we let them go. And now we're trying to kill them because they're a threat. They really have only seen the very worst, huh?
I hope we find a way to be able to live side by side with them one day.
It's a nice thought, but they attack towns and cities. What else are we supposed to do?
Aside from the strays that have gone wild, it's worth remembering that Renans are able to keep them somewhat under control.
If we had distinct territories that didn't overlap, that might reduce the danger they pose.
Well, I guess when you look at it that way, maybe people and Zeugles aren't so different after all.
I thought there'd be more dirt and rocks and stuff underneath the hollowed ocean, but it's all artificial.
I would imagine they're remnants left behind by the Helganquil, seeing as there's little actual land remaining.
It's incredible. Do you think it stretches all the way down to the center of the planet?
Hey, these guys built Lenegis, remember? They probably did this in a weekend.
If they had the power to create things like this, did they really only use those immense capabilities to serve the Great Spirit? Or rather, was that the only use the Great Spirit let them use their capabilities for?
Okay, wir dürfen weitermachen. Ist euch das mal gerade aufgefallen? Ist euch das aufgefallen? Warte mal, wir machen es nochmal. Die Dinger haben 14.000 Erfahrung uns gegeben, Mann. Vergleicht das mal mit einem Bossfight. Der Bossfight gibt vielleicht so 15 oder so, Mann. Und ich meine, da sitzen wir ja 10 Minuten dran. Ja, broken, was auch immer, Mann. Also, ich finde diesen Planeten super, Mann. Also, ich weiß nicht, wie es euch geht, ich finde ihn super, Mann. Was ist denn mit Dornen? Irgendwie laden die ja also schnell ihre Balken. So langsam ihre Balken auf. Naja, jetzt schauen wir mal, die sind auch Level 50, also die sollten uns auch gute Erfahrung geben. Wir müssen aber, ich habe es ja schon angekündigt, den Planeten dann gleich nochmal verlassen. Nicht, weil wir jetzt groß Sidequests machen können, aber es gibt eine Sidequest. Oh, mein Schlag schon wieder. Oh. Dragon Mirror! Das war ganz nice, Mann. So, die ganze Zeit der Drachenmove hier. Und dann natürlich Flaming Sword. Ja. So, was geben die Erfahrungen? Das interessiert mich jetzt auch. Auch 3, 4, Mann. Für so Standardgegner, Mann. Das ist so mega gut. Das ist so mega gut. So. Alter, Mann. Wie viel Skits hier auftauchen. Aber wir werden uns jetzt wie gesagt, erstmal gleich rauswappen. Dann hören wir uns die Skits an und dann weg da.
We haven't seen anyone here except Helganquil. Looks like this place really is their home planet.
The true citizens of Rena. What a shame that they have become nothing more than puppets to the Great Spirit. To think of the promise their accomplishments once held. They had the potential to be great indeed.
Do you think we could have got along with them? You know, if we had met under different circumstances. Like
all of us, you mean? I suppose it's difficult to say for sure. We don't even know if they would see us as being on an equal level with them or not.
I think we may have had the chance once, before the Renan Great Spirit came along and changed everything.
You and Alphen both share an optimism. A strong willingness to believe in hope.
Do you think that's foolish?
On the contrary, I should like to take a leaf from your book myself. In tragedy's aftermath, hope is all we have.
Just look at the size of that thing. The Helganquil's technology certainly is impressive. And they don't seem to do things by halves either. In the past 300 years. No, even before that. Just how many people, Renan or Dahna, do you think have ever seen this?
Regarding the past 3 centuries at least, I'd say there's a good chance that we're the first. Also, while I get that it's impressive and all, I'm just amazed you're still standing around gawping at it at a time like this. Sometimes I wonder about your priorities.
I can understand where he's coming from. More to the point, does anyone know where it leads?
What do you mean where it leads? To the center of the planet, of course.
And that doesn't strike you as sounding just a little bit, oh, I don't know, far? There has to be a quicker way to get there, right?
Yeah. With all this technology at their fingertips, it seems pretty unlikely that they'd make that kind of journey on foot. There must be some kind of device somewhere. Let's see if we can figure out how to use it.
Borrow one of their contraptions? You're either brave or out of your mind.
If it works for them, there's no reason it wouldn't for us. Why make things harder for ourselves?
You know what he's like, Law. Once he gets an idea in his head, there's no talking him out of it.
I wonder how the Renans avoided being mind-controlled like the Helganquil. Do you think it might have something to do with the fact that they were originally Dahnans?
I'd say it's likely. Which is pretty ironic when you think about it.
Ironic?
The Renans have committed grave injustices against the Dahnans. But it was all of their own volition, not because they were being controlled. Now, it turns out they themselves were once Dahnans too.
Which must mean that the root of their evil isn't the Great Spirit, but something inherent in all of us. Our free will.
Now hang on, though. It was that same free will that allowed Shionne and Dohalim to choose to fight alongside us. Without it, we wouldn't have been able to beat hatred and forge all those connections we've made. Free will is what saved us, right?
Law's entirely right. In any case, it certainly can't hurt to look on the bright side every now and then.
Yeah. Where there's hope, there's a way.
What'd he say?
He said, without a doubt.
Leute, dieses Spiel hat gerade definitiv viel zu viele Skits. Aber nur gut. Also, wir warten uns jetzt mal kurz raus. Der Grund dahinter ist nämlich, es gibt eine Sidequest und ich glaube, die ist hier. Genau. Ich habe mich ein bisschen informiert, weil das war in dem Moment, wo ich einfach grinden wollte und die die Dinger so wenig Erfahrung geben hat. Es gibt nämlich 2 Items, mit denen man besser Erfahrung erhält. Und eines davon gibt es hier, das andere kann man leider unmöglich bekommen, weil das andere in einem von diesen Post-Dungeons ist. Mein Lord, ihr habt eine Botschaft von Notio erhalten. Er steht drin, dass die Hochzeit im Saxler-Tempel stattfinden soll. Ausgezeichnet, danke für die Nachricht. Endlich steht die große Hochzeit vor der Tür. Ich kann mir kaum ein Glücklichern anders vorstellen. Ja, ich freue mich für Sie. Okay, gut, keine Ahnung. Machen wir.
Saxleo Temple. Isn't that where Shionne was being held?
Shh. Wasn't it beautiful? I can't wait for this.
Hey, Law. Been training?
Yeah, I guess I got a little carried away. You think this is bad, you should see the state of my underwear.
Yeah. A word of advice. You might want to refrain from mentioning that stuff around girls. Ones without a military history especially.
Man, can you imagine Rinwell's face? She'd have a nervous breakdown.
I meant in general, but you sure mention her a lot, you know.
Huh? Oh, you know, she's always there, even when you least expect it. Springs to mind easily.
Either that, or maybe some part of you is subconsciously always wishing she was there.
May the trials and tribulations of young romance never change.
Romance? Like I'd be interested in that know-it-all tomboy. I'm more about mature women. Someone more like Kisara.
You know, I used to be a tomboy too when I was Rinwell's age.
Look, it's not tomboys I have anything against. But come on, you've got to admit she can be a lot to handle.
Hey, I miss anything? What's all the fuss about?
Rinwell.
Thunderblade!
Ah! What the hell was that for?
A little birdie told me you were speaking about me behind my back. Whew!
From the looks of it, I'd say you've got yourself a rival.
It wouldn't be called the spring of youth without a little storm every now and then.
Hey, Shionne. How are you and Alphen getting on these days?
That's a little out of the blue. Why do you ask?
Sorry, it's just... I don't know, I'm just curious, I guess. I mean, a lot's changed now he's got his senses back and all.
I suppose you're right. Well, to tell you the truth, if he'd been the way he is now back when I'd first met him, I probably wouldn't have gotten this involved. But then, if we hadn't met like we did, then I never would have experienced these feelings, so... I guess it's complicated.
I can imagine. I know it's not the same thing, but I know what it feels like to have someone you love who's out of reach.
Because of Miguel.
Alphen's still alive. It's not too late, you know. And after all, who can say what the future holds? I think if I were you, I'd take things as they come for now.
Besides, touch isn't everything. I've never touched you, Shionne, but that doesn't stop you from knowing that I care about you, right?
That's true. But I do remember back when we first met, you made it plenty clear you weren't my biggest fan.
But that was a long time ago. There were lots of things I didn't understand back then. Not that that's the point.
Don't worry, I'm only teasing. I know what you mean. Thank you. And you're right. There are ways to convey your feelings besides just touching.
I'll say, cooking immediately springs to mind. And if it's someone's favorite dish, all the better. If there's something on your mind that you want to tell him, why not try appealing directly to his stomach?
You might just have a point. I'll give it a shot.
Uh-oh. If it's Alphen's palate you're appealing to, that doesn't bode well for the rest of us.
Well, friendship is about being supportive. Sometimes we just have to do our best and take one for the team, right?
Even after staying here, we never truly got to the bottom of what makes this realm's citizens tick.
Renan and Dahna are meaningless distinctions here. To have one's own mind is strictly forbidden. All that matters is blind obedience.
That might be the case now, but it can't always have been like that. There must have been something more.
Once, maybe. Question is that something still salvageable?
If it's not, we'll just have to make something new. No, not we. They've had enough foisted on them as it is.
You're right. It's time the people here had the chance to forge their own path. That's not to say it'll be easy, but it will be worthwhile.
These things take time to... What the... An ambush?
Sorry. There was a huge flying bug and I sort of shot without thinking.
A bug? You mean like a Zoogle?
Something tells me she would have shot it, whether it was a Zoogle or not.
This realm is teeming with humid forests. It's only natural insects would feel more at home here than Menancia. In fact, I seem to recall reading somewhere that bugs around these parts lay their eggs in human food to ensure healthy incubation.
Sounds like they're tougher than they look.
What about you, Alphen? Bugs don't creep you out?
I wouldn't say I was their #1 fan. Mind you, if times get desperate enough, I've been known to eat them.
Insects as a culinary option, you say? What kind of seasoning are we talking?
Dohalim, I don't think he was talking about cooking them.
Hey, a lizard!
So, genug Skits. Das geht also ganz einfach, das Beste sind immer Hudels Blicke, wenn er mal so böse schaupert, das sind die besten Skits immer. Nein, Leute, wir machen keine Skits mehr. Es gibt eine Trophy, dass man 300 Skits anhören muss und deswegen muss ich mir die eigentlich alle anhören. Also jetzt waren ein paar echt amüsante dabei, wie gesagt, mir gefällt einfach Hudel, wenn er so böse schaupert, das ist großartig. Natürlich, danke, dass ihr... Ach so! Ja, stimmt, das Notio, das war der eine Typ, den wir wo er wurde versendet in ein anderes Reich und wir mussten ihn dann aufpäppeln. Danke, dass ihr gekommen seid. Dolim, ihr seid hier, großartig, kommen wir gleich zur Sache. Alle warten darauf, dass ihr sprecht. Oh, welche große Gesellschaft sich hier versammelt hat. Ein Grupp mehr, dass ich mich hier richtig ins Zeug lege. Danke, dass ihr alle gekommen seid. Ich möchte auf die üblichen Formalitäten verzichten und an diesem glücklichen Tag um euren Segen bitten. Ich bin Sir Notio und seiner künftigen Frau Karage zum ersten Mal begegnet als... Das wird eine Weile dauern. Nun denn, ein Trinkspruch auf ewiges Glück für das liebende Paar sowie auf Frieden und Wohlstand zwischen Dahna und Rena.
Cheers!
Alle mal Applaus!
Cheers!
Gut, Zeit den Rotstrauß zu werfen. Weißt du schon, ich habe gehört, wenn man eine Hochzeit einen Strauß fängt, bleibt man für immer allein.
What?
Echt jetzt? Es ist eigentlich andersrum. Es ist normalerweise, dass man immer, wenn man den fängt, dass man dann heiratet. Yeah. Oh.
Nice try.
Guter Versuch jetzt bei. Viel Glück beim
Better luck
nächsten Mal.
next time.
Never. Why?
Wait, something's wrong.
I couldn't catch it. I'll always be alone. How could I... Oh, please. I'm so lonely.
Oh no. This is just like what happened before. Alphen!
I'm alone. I'm all alone.
What can I do to get her to snap out of it? There aren't any thorns this time.
Alphen?
Shionne, you're not alone. You've got all of us. And it wasn't just one bouquet either. There's also this one from me. So please, don't give up. We'll fight this together. Shionne!
You dummy! That's not what I was upset about. How many times do I need to tell you not to blindly rush into things? That said, it does make me feel better. Even if your bouquet is just a weapon named after one.
I'm just glad I could help. And I made another one to go with it, so it wouldn't be lonely either.
You never cease to amaze me, Alphen. Seriously.
Hochzeitsschneider. Hört sich irgendwo Schlimmes an. Okay, was haben wir hier Schönes bekommen? Der transzendente Verkuppler. Oh, der alte Verkuppler. So kenne ich meinen Dualem. So, das war eine easy Quest.
You've collected an awful lot of those objects. You sure it's not just
Hush. Be quiet for a moment. The pieces speak to me.
What?
These relics that have scattered about. I can hear them whispering, longing to reunite with their lost friends and become one again.
Really? Do you hear any voices coming from them, Rinwell?
What? No! Don't get me wrong. I'm really interested in these things too, but I'm not crazy.
But don't you sometimes mutter stuff like, "Come to me, astral energy," when you cast your arts?
You're right. Oh my gosh. Are Dohalim and I actually alike?
Its charm really shines through now that it's been reassembled. Its streamlined shape, its geometric patterns. This is no mere amateur's work.
He's in his own little world at this point.
You get just like him when it comes to weapons, you know.
You're right. Oh my gosh. Am I just like Dohalim?
Huh? Why are you guys so quiet all of a sudden?
Feeling better now, Shionne?
I'm sorry I lost my cool like that.
Don't worry. It's not like I have any room for criticism.
Being a grown-up isn't easy, is it?
I never thought about this until now, Alphen, but doesn't it get hot wearing that armor all the time? You feel heat and cold again, don't you?
Admittedly, yeah. It can get pretty toasty in this thing.
Is it hard when your back starts to itch?
Oh, you bet. Plus, my shoulders get stiff wearing it, even if it's not all that heavy.
Kisara looks like she manages all right with her armor.
Armor takes a strong body and a stout heart.
Spoken like a true guardsman. Not that I really get what you mean.
The more I think about it, the more I realize what a pain it must be. Like, what do you do when you need to take a leak?
Ew!
That part can be a bit of a pain, yeah. More things to take off.
That sucks, man. Wouldn't it be easier if you just walked around outside of your armor most of the time instead?
You never know when the enemy might attack. As tempting as it might be to take it off, it's not worth getting killed over.
So basically, you're screwed if you ever get attacked while taking a dump. Right, Rinwell?
Are you doing this on purpose?
Hudel, töte ihn. So, okay, liebe Leute, 5 Milliarden Skizze haben wir echt in diesem Part gehabt. Jetzt wartet mal kurz. Jetzt muss ich nämlich hier schauen. Also, wo haben wir das? Alte Arme, Astrabo. Oh, 13 Astrabo. Oh, das ist schön, Mann. So, Zubehör, Rüstung. Ich weiß nämlich jetzt nicht, wo dieses Ding ist, was ich jetzt hier bekommen habe. Ich weiß nur, Rüstung, ja. Gefertigt für die Rettung von Menschen. Der Träger hat sie bis endlich nach oben geschafft. Okay, das ist in Ordnung. Und... ich glaube, das wird ein Ausrüstungsgegenstand sein, oder? Nö, keine Ahnung. Ich weiß es ehrlich gesagt nicht, wo ich das Ding jetzt ausrüste. Aber irgendwo kann man es ausrüsten und man hält dadurch mehr Erfahrung. Oder, was haben wir denn noch? Also mehr Dinge haben wir gar nicht mehr, was wir aktivieren können. Das sind die Rezepte. Ja. So, Hochzeit-Tortenschneider. Ist das jetzt das beste Spiel? Bitte lass es. Es ist ernsthaft. Es ist ernsthaft. Es ist ernsthaft besser als unsere Waffen, Mann. Es ist irgendwie macht mich das traurig. Naja, aber so ist das, so war das ja fast erwartet. Nee, keine Ahnung, wo man die Dinger ausrüstet. Aber irgendwo wird das schon gehen. Warte mal, eine Sache noch. Einstellungen? Nö. DLCs? Nein! Ich habe genug unbenutzte DLCs. Die haben wir alle aktiviert. Nee, passt schon. Ist ja auch wurscht, Leute. Wir werden hier zumindest beim nächsten Mal dann weitermachen. Ich denke, vielleicht werden wir noch ein bisschen grinden. Ich denke, wir werden weitermachen. Weil, wie gesagt, es gibt nochmal Erfahrungsschub. Und der dann gibt der super Erfahrung, wo wir jetzt uns befinden. Dann würde ich sagen, sehen wir uns beim nächsten Mal mit Tales of Rise. Und ich würde sagen, ich war euer Sofix. Und bis zum nächsten Mal. Ciao.